Hello, hi, welcome to What in the Raid, where we discuss all things Raid Shadow Legends. Something a little bit different today. This is just a casual little disclosure of where my roster stands since that massive pull we did with all the shards the other day. Now, I'm not going to go through every single hero. I'm also going to obviously exclude the common and uncommons down here. We've all had them a million times over. I would like to let you know what I've got in terms of rares, epics and legendaries. I don't have a single mythical on my account, so that's not even up for discussion. And I'd also like to mention who is on my Faction Wars team. It's an area I have actually sort of neglected in the game. Obviously looking at it a little bit more now that I've hit certain targets within the game, and I would like to get past like the initial map by the end of this year. So each week I'll reveal a new faction, reveal the army that I've got set up, and put it to you guys to let me know who's a better choice. So I'm going to take a back seat, let the visuals do the talking for a minute. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so that is all the heroes I've managed to add to my roster for the Bannerlords faction. I have to say, like, I really like the old school knights and heraldry and noble houses, like that whole Western European heavy armor medieval kind of look. Like that's such a homage to European history, and I do love the aesthetic. There's only a handful of heroes that are actually boring looking, like the Ulfric, who's a relatively decent epic, just so boring looking. And then in the rares, I mean, you've got crossbowmen, which just, I mean, I love the orange and the blue little like tabard outside there, as well as like the chain linked leather strap, like little bits of like armor that he's got on there. But overall, he just doesn't scream exciting, not in the way that say Sir Armitage does, who is probably aesthetically speaking one of my favorite heroes in the faction. But then I've still got plenty more to pull, so let's not stick any pins into guaranteed favorites just yet. This is not an aesthetic review, however, this is just me giving you a quick update of where my roster is, and obviously getting your feedback on my current Faction Wars team. First of all, I have got Killian the Lucky doing my damage. I do not use him for his debuffs, I do not use him for his buffs. I am purely interested in this attack stat and him being able to cycle through those abilities and survive long enough. He's not doing anything else in terms of utility. If he does, it's a lucky RNG moment. It's not something I depend on. Moving on to Chancellor Yasmin. Does my healing. Occasionally she'll remove buffs from the enemy. She's got a little attack on her A1 as well. She doesn't have a revive, which is sad times. That's always a valuable skill to have, but at least she heals, so that is her function in the team right now. To support with the attack function, I've got Lordly Legionary. Now at first sight, I mean, he does look boring when you first look at him, but he's got like that patchwork of armor that he seems to have pulled together with the chainmail underneath and the flaming sword, and then he's got like obviously his face shielded from like what, the smoke and the flames of his own weapon, with that like tattered cape as well, and it looks like he's got like the burn from his past experiences there. So I mean, overall a brilliant looking guy. Love that he's got some champion lore, he's got reasonable attack, Now, he's not just there for damage, so that is his primary role, but he can debuff as well as buff, so there is a mixed utility with him, so he's quite a handy addition. And then I tend to alternate between Valerie, who is another reasonable support hero. If I need additional heals, that's where she comes in. She's also got a reasonable attack, as well as a buff on her A2. And whenever I feel like I need one of those really provoky tanks, Arndorf goes in as an option. In fact, he goes in quite a lot, because he's got like provoke, he's got counter attack. He's also got fear and weaken on his A2 ability, and his A1 provokes. So as long as I've got his HP and defense stacked as high as possible, he does a pretty decent job for me in faction wars, just to absorb that incoming damage. And if I'm going up against waves that don't really do a lot of damage but seem to be avoiding mine, I just throw in additional attack with Masked Fearmonger. Obviously he does a fair bit of damage, but he's also got a fair bit of utility. He does have some buffs and some turn meter control, but they're very, very selfish. They only apply to him, whereas his debuffs obviously have a reasonable chance of slowing the enemy down. So there's a little bit of utility there, especially with like Fear, True Fear and Decreased Speed. It probably grinds them to a halt whenever that applies. For the most part, I just throw him in when I need that extra boost of damage. Now, the first thing that you can probably tell is that I am lacking a revive. Yes, I am. I still have not unlocked that for the Bannerlords faction yet. Now, I have recently added Sir Armitage, Archmage Helmut, as well as Quintus to my roster for this faction. I am going to investigate their potential, trial them in my faction wars. But what are your thoughts, guys? Is this something I should be looking at a little bit more seriously? Should I be swapping someone out? Is there a gem within my roster that I'm completely ignoring? While my account is still young, I really do appreciate community feedback, so I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye, 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 bye.